Welcome to the Malt Miller YouTube channel, and in this video we are getting ready to blast the crud out of here. That's what it says on the box.
So James, the other week you had the joy of unloading a fantastic Kegland container.
I did, yeah, it was great fun.
On there we have a brand new product that came with it.
I know, we've got lots of new products that came on that container, but this one especially we're excited about because, like most home brewers, cleaning is a huge part of what we do. We have to take care of our kit, we have to make sure it's ready to be used, cleaned, sanitized all the time. So anything that can help with that is a welcome addition to the range, right?
This is going to save you time, effort, and put the joy back into cleaning.
So Martin, what have we got in this wonderful box of joy from Kegland?
James, this is the Kegland Bucket Blaster. This is for cleaning kegs and fermenters. The reason we're doing this video, I've already had a look into one of these boxes. You know, I bought one myself because I was that excited about this. I know the instructions are a little bit sketchy, so we're going to show you just how to put this thing together.
Yeah, and how to use it, right?
Yeah.
How to use it to clean those grubby kegs and blast that crud out of here.
First things first, let's get the box open.
Nice, got your handy knife there.
Always.
Safety first, put that knife away. Right, shall I?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, if I lift it up, you can get rid of the box. There we go. So the first thing we get is a very handy bucket, right? That contains everything, but also we'll be using to hold the cleaning solution, yeah?
Yeah, so lid, there is a little joint on it here, so you can then just peel the lid off. It says.
Let me hold that for you.
Okay, so in there we've got frame, pump in the box,
Some tubing.
one piece of tubing that comes out the top of the pump,
Okay, yeah, that's the extension pole.
bag of fixtures and fittings.
Nice.
Nice thing about this one, James, uses loads of Duo type fittings.
Okay.
Way easier to assemble than some of the others out there.
And that also potentially opens up the avenue for connecting other bits and pieces that use Duo-Tight or John Guest fittings, right?
Exactly.
Cool. What else have we got in there?
We also have this lovely little sticker.
Okay, what's the sticker for?
Right.
I see it's got like measurement guidelines.
It's got measurements on there, so this is how much liquid you need to put in there to actually operate it.
Okay.
I've read some comments on other videos, you know, this takes longer to put together than this does.
Okay.
So we're going to show you how to put the sticker on as well.
All right, nice. Right, so get your knife back out there, Martin. Let's take this lovely little cable tie off.
Okay.
Remove that. That's a nice handy size, that as well, isn't it? It looks really sturdy.
Just undo these as well.
Okay, and in here we have our submersible pump. Nice.
Okay, so what you'll notice is on the bottom of the base, there's a plate.
Yep.
The pump suctions onto there, and it's slightly set off so that then you have the outlet pointing upwards in the centre.
And it's a pretty powerful pump as well. It's 45 watts, so it's not like a measly pump by any means. So you're going to be able to get a decent amount of flow through it, right? So we've got all of the components laid out in front of us now for the Bucket Blaster, Martin. What's our first step to get this thing put together?
Right, it's really simple, James. It's really easy. First thing, this little connector goes in here. This just joins onto the pump. T-piece.
Okay.
T-piece then goes on top of there.
And the T-piece is what allows us to then hook up the disconnects so that we can be flushing the posts on our keg at the same time as we're rinsing the inside of it, right?
Correct, so you've got two directions of outs. Okay. Then you've got the tubing.
Yep.
Which goes on top. Then you've got this little cap that goes on top of the tube.
Yeah, and that's got a little hole in the top of it, so that's adding further pressure, isn't it, into the system so that you get a jet come out of the Bucket Blaster's tube there.
Exactly.
Up into the top of the keg so you get the sheeting across inside.
Okay. Then this is where your line is going to come out for the posts. So this goes into here. And like I say, this is a Duo fit fitting. So you haven't got to worry about heating up any of the beer line, because it's just simply cut it and push it in.
Yeah, nice. Okay, brilliant. And then what have we got to do?
Right, beer line, let's cut that.
Yeah.
We need it into 3 pieces. I'm going to say let's cut it in half, and then one of those halves into half again, because if you think about it, the posts aren't going to be that far apart, but actually having them all length away from the pump is probably going to come in a bit more handy.
Yeah, cool.
We have our 3 pieces of tubing, which cut with our little cutter.
Yeah.
Brilliant little tool that is. First thing we're going to do, we're going to attach the T-piece onto the longer piece of tubing.
And that goes into the center point of the T-piece, doesn't it?
Correct, yeah. You know, and then that piece is going to go into the pump.
Yeah.
Off this, we're then going to have the disconnects. So these go on to the equal sides of the T.
And these are 3/8, aren't they? All of the Dura-type fittings here.
Okay. And like I say, Dura-type fittings just makes this so much easier. I mean, the other great thing about this is they're also threaded.
Yeah.
So you're using a threaded disconnect, and we know they're good quality disconnects. We've been selling them for years. So now, let's connect this up to the pump.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to attach the disconnects onto the ends here.
Oh, it's so much easier not having to heat the line up, push it onto barbs, you know, worry about is it going to fit, isn't it going to fit?
Yeah, and the other great thing is, you know, beer line does age. You can easily replace this.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the same as your normal 3/8 beer line.
Cool, so we're set up now, aren't we, with this? We are ready to go. I guess there's just one fiddly job to do, which is putting the sticker on the bucket. Okay, who's doing that, you or me?
I can do it, I've mastered this. So the way I've tackled the sticker is, I've peeled away the excess around the outside of the piece which is going onto the bucket. You know, it's like a T-shaped almost. Then I focus on the bottom of the sticker. There's a red line which you want to aim for the seam on the bucket, stick that on, then almost peel the paper away and smooth it onto the bucket. You're gonna get a few bubbles. Don't let it stress you out about the bubbles. But then just smooth out the edges and voila, on the bucket.
It looks great, Martin. I think you've done a fantastic job. It's clearly not your first rodeo.
Hey.
So we've got everything assembled now, the stickers on. Surely we're in the territory of getting some dirty things clean.
Pretty close, James. First of all, let's pay attention to the sticker. There is a fill line on there which shows you that it's about 9 litres of cleaning liquid that you're going to need in there. You know, perfect things to use, Chem Clean.
Yeah.
NZ Brew 10.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be able to then do a number of vessels with that mixture that you've made.
Yeah, and that's the benefit of these systems, isn't it? That actually, if you've got a little suite of dirty kegs or some dirty kegs and a dirty fermenter, you can mix up one batch and run them all through it at the same time. So do you need me to go and find some grubby kegs?
Go and get your dirty kegs, James. Let's give them a clean.
Cool.
James, show me your filth.
I have got an absolutely minging keg here, Martin.
Oh, I ain't gonna even ask who's left this line around for a while.
Well, let's have a little open. Take a look inside.
Oh, when did you start making malt vinegar?
I know, that is a dirty little secret, isn't it, that one? Oh, yeah, okay. So I guess before we put it on here, we want to be using this for a number of different tests today. And we've got, you know, 10 litres nearly of fluid mixed up in there. So I think it's probably a good idea just to give this a quick rinse first.
Best practice, give it a rinse out so you can prolong the use of the cleaning.
Now, your kegs might not be as filthy as this one, so that might not necessarily be a step you need to take, but certainly based on the fact we've still got a little bit of liquid sloshing around in the bottom there.
Was you pickling eggs in here or something?
we'll give it a rinse and then we'll get it on the bucket blaster, right?
Yeah.
Cool, I'll go and do that.
First things first, get your keg lid, let's pop it into the bucket.
Yeah.
Let's give that a soak as well while we're kind of doing a clean.
Yeah, we'll take the little seal just off loosely as well so that it gets all around there and that just drops in.
Also helps you remember which lid goes with which keg if you've got a number of kegs open.
So next we need to fit on the disconnects.
All right, gas one.
Yeah.
Beer.
There we go. And now we need to feed this over the top.
Yep, just invert it over the top.
Yeah, getting balanced on there. Now it might take a little bit of fiddling around the positioning of the posts.
Yeah, because all kegs are different shapes and different positions as well.
Yeah.
So I've used this with the new shape rather than the reconditioned kegs before.
Okay. You're going to plug him in, are you?
Yep.
There we go, Martin. We are rinsing.
I mean, you're not going to walk away from this anyway, James, because a lot of the cleaners and sanitizers that you're going to use are going to foam. So you don't want to leave it so that you then come back to like a foam party.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
it's not 2001 Ibiza foam party, is it?
No, I mean, that's frothing up a bit already.
How long do we need to let this run for?
A few minutes, then we'll have a look and see what it's like inside. I'd say maybe 5, max 10.
Yeah, okay. Oh, well, we'll give this a whirl. have a look inside shortly and see how it's got on. So that's been a few minutes now, Martin. Unplug him. We did avoid foam escaping as well, which is very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I did say 5 minutes, but you know, we've probably got about more 3 or 4.
Yeah, okay. Let's lift him off. You know, and that's going to vary from cleaner to cleaner. So, you know, if you're using something that doesn't foam as much, you can leave it running for longer. But, wow. Have a look in there.
Certainly doesn't smell of pickled eggs anymore.
No, it doesn't. And it is sparkling. That's done an awesome job.
The great thing is it's gone through the liquid post. So if I was doing this at home, like I used to do manually, I'd be trying to push cleaner out through the post. So I'd be using gas. I'd want quite a lot of liquid in there as well. So it's saving a lot of different things.
Yeah, it is, definitely. But I'm really impressed with how clean that's looking in there. Awesome, so that's my dirty keg, nice and clean.
Smelling good.
And smelling much better. So I'm going to disconnect that, move him out of the way.
You know what I'd really like to see? I'd really like to see what's actually going on inside that keg.
Okay, I know where this is going, and you've got me wet with one of these before. What we're going to do, we're going to wash out a PET fermenter like the Firmzilla.
I think we should definitely get the Firmzilla on there so we can just see exactly what's happening inside the vessel.
Yeah, cool, nice, let's go and grab one. Here are then, Martin, here is our trusty Firmzilla.
Awesome.
I mean, it is quite clean. It did get a really good clean last time I used it, and it's smelling nice and clean. But this is all about being able to see what's going on inside, right?
Yeah, it's a learning thing. So
we're gonna
invert,
get the handles.
Oh, that frame's fit.
It fits perfectly, doesn't it? What can we do with these though?
I think they should go into the collection vessel.
Okay, yeah. So let's get one on there.
You could put them onto the lid assembly, but you know, we've got the vessel there. Let's do that.
Yeah, and actually I just want to see it all working. All right, nice. Let's get it plugged in. 3, 2, 1.
Blast off.
Look at that.
Really, really cool.
And you can really see how powerful the jet is that's going all the way up to the top of the collection vessel. You can see it sheeting the cleaner all down through the sides. Nice bit of foam building up. And also, because we've got these attached, you can see actually that it's coming out through the carbonation caps as well, because you know they can be a bit fiddly to clean, so that's awesome.
I mean, some of these cleaners we've seen before have adjustable height on the jet that's going up. You don't actually need it because this pump's so powerful, we can see it's hitting all the way through.
Yeah, very good.
I think we need to turn it off shortly though.
Yeah, we're going to get foamy again.
Foamy.
Right, I think you could probably safely unplug that now, Martin, because in the few minutes we've had this running, we've successfully filled the Firmzilla full of bubbles.
It's really hypnotic though. I really like it.
But you can see that even with the bubbles in there, there's still movement, there's still flow, so it's going to be eating away at all of the filth that might have built up on your Firmzilla or, you know, any fermenter really that you want to use this on.
I think the really interesting thing is, James, you know, we were looking at it and saying, well, there's like 10.5 litres of liquid you've had to put in there. When we've got to this point, you know, that's dropped below 5. So that's making sure the pump is staying submerged.
Yeah, even with the foam.
Yeah.
Now you could use a different cleaner that is less foaming, something like Brew, which doesn't foam as much as this, but you can see that just in that short space of time, it's done an awesome job. And actually being able to see the jets coming out of the carbonation caps was really cool as well.
I mean, look at this now, the bubbles are clearing. It's like absolutely beautiful, spanking new.
Yeah, awesome. Right, so we can get this disconnected. Now, are we going to leave it for the bubbles to subside a little bit?
Well, we can either subside them there in place, or what we could do, we could pop that onto there.
Yeah, let's
and
just...
then we can move on to looking at...
Lift. Whoa, whoa, here we go, we're getting there again. It wouldn't be a video with water and cleaner involved if you didn't end up getting us wet. Awesome.
I'll still try.
Yeah, okay. So we'll just leave that for the bubbles to fall out, and then we'll take a closer look at how clean it's looking inside. Right, have we done, or have we got anything else dirty that needs to be cleaned?
I think for this video, James, I think we've covered enough.
Yeah. Now, I think there's loads of potential adaptations that can take place with this keg cleaner. You know, maybe different fixtures and fittings, and we'd love to have a bit more of a play around with that. But for this time, just now, I think we've probably covered enough, we've cleaned enough, and we have also covered
everything with
part
bubbles.
of the table with foam. There we go, Martin. We have wiped up the bubbles, We've emptied the bubbles out of the Firmzilla, and I have to say it is looking absolutely sparkling. Very impressed. So's that keg.
And it smells great too.
It does. Definitely got rid of that filth that was lingering around in there. Now I'm really impressed with the Bucket Blaster. I think that, you know, how easy it is to fit it together, how powerful it is, all of that kind of stuff. But do you think there's any other kind of tests or things we could do at this point to see how it goes?
Look, there's one thing I was thinking last weekend. You know, I wanted to see how it was working inside, which you've helped me do today. I'd just like to know how high it actually shoots the jet into the air.
All right, should we go outside? I'll get an extension lead.
Oh, if we have to go outside, yeah, let's go out there. Probably makes a bit more sense than doing it in here.
Yeah, it might make more of a mess. Go on then. that was bonkers. It was like up here.
Yeah, it went over my head.
I know, proper good 7 foot. Yeah, that was fantastic. I think it just highlights how powerful the jet is on that thing. Now, I can't wait to start thinking about other applications we might have for the Bucket Blaster, because whilst we get a bucket, what we actually get is a really powerful pump with dual-type fittings, you know, some screw fittings as well, that I'm sure we could adapt and deploy this in other areas of our home brewery. So what I want to do now is turn to everybody that's watching this video. If you have one of these and you have used it in innovative ways to clean your brewing kit, fermenters, kegs, whatever it might be, we want to hear about that. So drop a comment down below, let us know. And also if there are things you want to see us try before you do, so we can get wet and you don't, also let us know and we'll have a look at it and we'll see what we can do.
Like I say, I've got one of these at home. Do I have to put it in the comments if I come up with another stupid idea?
No, you can just tell me.
Okay. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you found it really useful, please like, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications.
And that way you'll be able to keep up to date with everything we're doing here at Malt HQ, all the experiments we undertake, so we can get wet and you don't have to. Don't forget, you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and also TikTok. Have a great brew.